Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and the managing director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. As the title of this video suggests, we're discussing the US-Thai Treaty of Amity. We're specifically discussing Amity Treaty companies, organization, capitalization, formation. In recent months, we've had folks that have contacted us regarding incorporation, and we've noticed kind of an ongoing trend where they sort of get on the internet and they sort of work themselves up into a bit of a frenzy when they're looking at the requirements associated with setting up a Thai company, the formalities associated with, for example, limited company setup. And to be clear, establishing a limited company in Thailand, it is not very akin to setting up, for example, like a limited liability company or LLC in the United States. It's a more cumbersome process. It's more detailed, more complexity. It's much more akin to a so-called C corporation, a C corp in the United States, an INC, than to an LLC. Meanwhile, even then, there's more formality than I would even argue an INC or C corporation has in the United States. And while this can be a little bit daunting, it is not an insurmountable obstacle. In fact, Thailand is actually, especially if you're utilizing a legal advisory service, a law firm that has Thai legal professionals that deal with the incorporation process on a daily basis, it's not overly daunting. Yes, there are formalities, but I can tell you our Thai corporate team, they deal with it daily. And it's just a matter of moving it through and getting it done correctly, getting it filed correctly. And it takes the time it takes, but it's not forever. It doesn't take eons to get it done. It's usually at worst days, sometimes weeks to get something done with respect to formation of a company. Now, with an Amity Treaty company, there's also the added component of getting certification formalized, and that is important because under the terms of the US-Thai Treaty of Amity, once a company is certified as an American company operating in Thailand and is issued their Amity Treaty certificate, they are granted what's called national treatment, so they're treated as if they were a Thai company for purposes of doing business in Thailand, which allows them to sort of, if you will, supersede the provisions of the Foreign Business Act, which basically allows an American or Americans to own a majority or the totality of a Thai company doing business under the Treaty of Amity in the Kingdom of Thailand. So long story short, there are major benefits associated with the treaty, but it does require extra formality if you're comparing it to the incorporation of a standard Thai company.